In a world where darkness and light collide, two flames burn eternal. From the sacred halls of Freemasonry to the roaring highways of the widow's sons comes a brotherhood forged in truth, honor, and fire. This is no ordinary podcast, so this is the voice of the craft reminding you that the sun never sets on the widow's sons. From the heartland of America, welcome to the Two Burning Tapers podcast with your hosts, Skittles and Gilligan.
Yeah. Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to Two Burning Tapers, a Masonic podcast where we come together to spread good light, strengthen brotherhood, and keep Blue Lodge first. It's me, Skittles, and I'm here with Brother Gilligan. And brothers, before we get into tonight's episode, I want to take a brief moment for something very personal and very meaningful to me and my family. On February 5th, me and my wife had our daughter, Gianna, Ruth Parker. Go ahead and show her off. That's a pretty baby.
Woo! Ooh, let's show her off. Look at that pretty baby there.
Oh,
Nice.
They let me leave the hospital with her.
Are you sure that's not a porcelain doll? Are you sure that's not a porcelain doll, brother? That baby looks way too cute to be your kid. I think she's good thing she takes after her mom.
Yes. Let me stay on script.
Nice.
Becoming a father to a little girl has a way of putting everything into perspective. Faith, hope, family, responsibility, and the kind of man I want to be moving forward. It's a reminder that the light we talk about on this podcast doesn't just live in the lodge. It lives at home in how we lead, how we love, and how we raise the next generation. Thank you to all the brothers who have reached out in hopes and prayers, kind words, and support. It truly means more than you know. With that being said, let's get back to the podcast. This is Two Burning Tapers.
Yay. Keep that baby in the podcast. We'll get more likes and follows just because of that pretty baby and the old lady. I don't think they want to look at our dumbasses.
Oh.
Damn.
She's cute, man.
Brother, I can't believe they let you leave the hospital with that thing.
I know. Well, yeah, they didn't want to keep her.
They didn't want to keep her?
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah.
No.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pass her off.
Nope, you can have her.
Darling.
Yep. Give the baby to mama. It's like fine china.
Ear so you don't have to listen to us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh.
Give it up for Mad Dog
She'll
Maddie,
be like,
everybody.
What are you two idiots talking about tonight? Woo!
Yep.
She did really good on baking that kid in there, cuz. She that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's definitely that's one of them gifts from God, buddy. That's one of them gifts from God.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, Mad Dog Maddie did great. Gianna's beautiful. The whole pregnancy went great. Labor went great. Delivery went great. Just went to the doctor for the first time today. Clean bill of health for everybody. So everything's good.
Nice. So this is our first podcast with you being a new dad. And this is like fresh. You're like 3 days into being a new dad, yeah?
Yes, sir. Yes, it feels good. I'm wearing it well. Gangsta.
So should I call you Daddy? Should I call you Daddy Skittles now, or do I call you Daddy Parker? What is it now that we're gonna call you? Since you're not sitting in the West anymore, you're no longer worshipful master, so you actually get to have a name now.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Papa Parker.
What do we just Papa Parker? There we go. We go. I got you.
Yeah, I'm owning it, man, dude. I'm so proud to be a girl dad. I'm sure you saw on Facebook, I've got my tactical girl bag.
I did. I saw that today.
Bag. Yep. Got my wet wipes,
bag,
my diapers. Yep. I got glow sticks, a knife, some water, just things. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out.
Hey, you never know if you need a glow stick on the in the back of the cab, or if the lights go out while you're trying to change a diaper, you might be able to be like, stick it in your mouth, still be able to change the diaper out in the bathroom. You never know.
Yep.
I've been in bathrooms where it times out on you, and you're just like, "What the heck?" So understand. Brother, I'm gonna tell you, the being a dad looks good on you. I was gonna say I got to do the thing that most Masons talk about, but I don't know if all get to do that. Um, Brother Parker sent me a message and said that his wife was in labor. I stopped everything that I was doing because that's my brother. I know that he could do everything on his own by himself, but I wanted to be there and show some support. So I took my kids to my mom, got them wrapped up for the weekend, and I literally headed out as fast as I could. And I got to spend the weekend and got to see that journey. And I got to watch you change. From Skittles, Shawn Parker,
Mm-hmm.
to Dad Skittles, Shawn Parker, and just the moment of
Mm-hmm.
seeing that was just humbling. And I appreciate you being my brother and allow me to experience that with you, because that's just one of those things, man. That uh, a short little story. I watched them prick the feet of his new little baby to draw blood as they normally do, and I watched him literally just mid sentence stand up and just go over and be like, "What can I do for you?" So he's like that little Rottweiler in the background, looks all nice and cute,
Yeah.
but if you mess with him, he's gonna tear you right up, buddy. I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you. Just being able to see that and see the transition, brother. I can't wait to see the next 40 years and see how
Mm-hmm.
your kid grows and what she becomes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And yeah, so man, something I looked back on. So after you had left the hospital, my mother and father-in-law came in and were hanging out with us, and it was just us really talking about what a blessing it is that we have Marianne and Gilligan in our lives. And they were just like, it was so apparent to them how great it was that we had best friends like Marianne and Gilligan. And to hear that from a mother and father-in-law who have no Masonic history, they're not Masons themselves or Eastern Star or anything, but they can look into Freemasonry, or like into this window into the widow sons and our relationship, our brotherhood, the sisterhood, and just recognize how good and great that is. Um, that's always like the reassuring thing. Like we can always say like, "Oh yeah, it's so good, our brotherhood's good," but when somebody from the outside acknowledges it to the point where they ask for your phone number, and I'm assuming they texted you and probably said something, is my
They
guess
did.
there. But
They did.
yeah, but man, I cannot. That goes into this other thing where I always see posts on Facebook about guys saying like, "Man, I might not have a bunch of friends, but I have one buddy that I can call and he always answers." And guys always like saying that or thinking that. I don't think there's that many guys who actually have that. Um, I simply sent a text message and just said, "We in labor." And I and I knew that was I lit the fuse at a firework. I knew that's what that text message was. Um, I knew you called me and I like saw you were calling me, but Maddie was in labor and I knew I did not need to answer that phone call. I knew that you were handling it.
Correct.
I knew you were running around like a chicken with your head cut off, but still calm and composed at the same time. Um, and what a
Correct.
relief it was that that you guys drove, I mean, just dropped your lives off and drove all the way to my state and stayed at our house, took care of our dogs, you just managed the everything. And me and Maddie look up to you guys so much as parents. It's Mary Ann's just incredible with children. And so yeah, just thank you. I really appreciate that. And again, a lot of guys want that. A lot of guys say they have that, and I think very few actually have that.
Correct. And it goes into you have to put in the work to have that. I mean,
Mhm.
we've known each other, what, 8, 9 years, and we've put in a lot of work together to have that type of relationship to where our our Freemasonry is what brought us together. The Widow Sons is what made our bond. Um, and that kind of brings us into tonight's subject. We're going to kind of dive into a little bit. Um, eh, the Widow Sons is influencing the Blue Lodge by adding membership. So I feel we have a bunch of different avenues that you can go to, as in like the Shriners and a lot of other clubs. But I feel some of those other clubs don't don't bring them back to the Blue Lodge. Uh, uh, and I'll just go out there and say it. Us Widow Sons, I think we have the shiniest light out there that is attracting the most into the Blue Lodge because of we're out there in the public a lot more, riding around, or we're talking on podcast, just having general conversations where before we didn't have those conversations. It was kind of just quiet and we don't talk about that.
Mhm.
Um, so what's your thoughts on um the Widow Sons influencing the Blue Lodge? Do you have
Yeah.
anything
Well,
on that one?
yeah, no, I'm a great person to ask on that because I personally watched my lodge grow through the Widow Sons. When I first joined my lodge, I joined as a Widow Son, and I was the only Widow Son in that lodge. And we were doing fine. We were, making quorum and everything was good. But as our chapter got established within our Blue Lodge, we grew exponentially, meaning attendance became far more purposeful, brotherhood became far more purposeful, and there was things where it's like, hey, the Widow Sons within this lodge want to go do the St. Patty's Day parade. Let's incorporate Blue Lodge with that. And now the Blue Lodge is, so even members who aren't even Widow Sons are reaping the benefits of the Widow
Of the
Sons and
Widow
the Blue
Sons.
Lodge, because now the Widow Sons is putting together this big parade, and we want all the Blue Lodge members to be there, and now they're, like, showing up. I got multiple members within my Blue Lodge that, they kinda when they hang out with us, it almost they kinda chum it up like they're a Widow Son, and
Mhm.
the binding factor there is, well, we're Freemasons, so we treat them as one of us. Um, and again, within my Blue Lodge, the growth that I've seen is, well, the past, I think, 3 or 4 worshipful masters is Widow Sons, and we're on chart for the next 3 to be Widow Sons as well. I mean, that just shows you how impactful. And by the way, there was not a Widow Sons in my lodge until, I don't know, 4 years ago or something like that. I mean, do you remember how long ago that
Similar
was?
when I was gonna say the year that you and Brian met each other, or a little after
Yeah,
you
Brian
and Brian
Dixon.
met each other,
Yeah.
Mr. Dixon.
Um,
So, or
yeah.
Tiberius, if any of y'all out there listening.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I would say
Um,
you started that journey there in, Normal Lodge with a Widow Son, because you were the first branded brother in that lodge, and then it, transferred out from there to now. What do you think you have? We have 15 members in our no, we have 17 members in our chapter, and I think, 6 or 7 of them are out of Normal, correct?
yes. Yes, 6 or 7 of them are out of normal, and I would say, top 10 active members in our Blue Lodge, well, 7 of them are Widow Sons.
Hey, I'm gonna throw something out there, and I'm gonna probably say the top 10 in all lodges that have a Widow Son in it are active
Yeah.
members in their lodge,
Yeah.
or should
And
be.
why do you think that is? Why is it that Widow Sons are the members that are so active in Blue Lodge? What creates that?
I think it's the to be honest with you. I think we're out in the public's eyes more, so we attract more questions. We attract more answers. We're engaging with the public a little bit more because we're not we're not closed behind a door having a business meeting, and then we come out of business meeting, and sometimes if you walk up to a building, you're gonna feel a little subject to ask questions. You're gonna be like, well, can I ask this, or am I going to offend somebody by this? Now you walk up to one of us out in public, you're just gonna be like, hey, can I ask you a question? Because people look at us a little differently, I guess. That might answer your question there. But when you were talking earlier, I had a idea that popped across my head for us widow sons to help support our blue lodges, not in just membership, but maybe help support your blue lodges in your district. If you have a chapter in a district and there's enough widow sons, make a little poker run and stop it from lodge to lodge to lodge to lodge. Have each lodge open
Yeah.
up and open their lodges up, and maybe one sells breakfast, then you go out later and you get one that does lunch, and then you go out a little bit further and you get one that does dinner. And you open it up to the general public to be able to step into these individual lodges, and kind of see what's inside the doors without being like having to come in and say, hey, or wait for an open meeting. And then there's a bunch of guys just standing there and you kind of look around and you're like, ooh, I'm nervous. What the hell is this? So you kind of just open yourself for a little bit more community involvement that way and it also creates a good poker run or a good fundraiser for everyone. I mean, you charge for the ride, and then each lodge can charge for coffee, cakes, or whatever they wanted to do. If they didn't want to charge for anything, and just set something out free. Set
Yeah.
that shit up. Make some rides that way. Sorry, I went on a little left turn there on you, Clyde, but I
No, I
was
love
thinking
that.
of how us widow sons, how we influence our lodge, and that's a good way to influence our lodge by being a widow son, because that's something that we do anyways. We're looking for a good charity or a good way to donate our time for charity. That's an easy way to do that, and that's an easy way to get your
Right.
lodge members involved. And what brought that up for me was you were talking about our Nephilim, excuse me, St. Patty's Day parade. Will you
Yes.
include a normal lodge? And I do believe Bloomington Lodge gets included in on that.
Yes.
And it's us widow sons, and the lodge members are on a trailer pulled by a truck, and their banners out there. So we're involving not just only a widow sons, we're involving our blue lodges, because the blue lodges is where we start. So that's where we got to put in our time. We got to put in our effort. But when we have those exterior moments where we're shining that light, why not bring those brothers along with us and help and show them there are a little, here's a different way to shine that light out. Come on out and involve yourself with the community with us.
Yeah, that's a great point. So, like, Gilligan was bringing up, we do the St. Patty's Day parade, and our Nephilim chapter out of the Widow Sons, we already pay for the float, the space. It's minimal, and we do it and we get out in the community. But what we do is we reach out to our lodge, our local lodges, and we just say, hey, if you guys just simply show up, bring your banner, we'll hang your banner, and you come hand out candy to the kids with us. We don't need your money. We're already going to pay for the slot, because what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and the widow's sons is based solely on supporting and prop upping the Blue Lodge. So please, like, that's a really great point, that anytime your Widow Sons chapter is planning an event or has an event, you need to go to your Blue Lodge and figure out how you can get them involved. So if you're doing a poker run, if you're doing a cookout, whatever it is, you need to just tell them, bring you, your people, and your banner. We don't want your money. Don't pay anything. Just come out. We want to give you exposure.
Yeah, because your blue lodge is your lack of better words, your grandmother, correct? So you wouldn't want to charge your grandmother for anything. Like if you were in our profession, we're going to work on her car for free. I'm not going to charge her anything. I'm going to pay. I'm even going to pay for the parts because that's my grandmother. I want to see it. I want to see her succeed, and I want to see her live for a very, very long time. So I'm going to take care of grandma.
Yep. As widow sons, you need to take care of grandma, aka your Blue Lodge. And a point we're just like failing to bring up. Let's talk about what is written inside of our bylaws that at our very core makes it where a widow sons props up the Blue Lodge. You want to talk on that? I know you know what I'm talking about.
So you're talking about how like our chapter has a you have to attend so many meetings.
Yes.
I think that should be a standard, to be honest with you. I mean, if it's not necessarily written down in a bylaw, it's a standard house law, if that makes sense. Or a standard period, because again, without Blue Lodge, you don't have any of the other entities, especially us widow sons. So if you get in the widow sons and you forget and you just sit back and don't go to lodge, you should probably get up and go to lodge because you're forgetting a lot of those other brothers that are there. Definitely good food for thought. So I know some of our widow sons are going up this weekend to talk to at the Grand Masters Conference about the widow sons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we do have some brothers going up this weekend, going to the Grand Masters Conference in Chicago to speak on how the widow sons influences the Blue Lodge. This exact topic that we're talking about right now, because it's definitely a topic that needs to be talked about because of we influence the lodge a lot, and I'm hoping everybody's influencing the lodge in the correct way. Um, that's kind of where we're getting at tonight. Is just we don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's like you have to go to lodge. Like if you're not going to lodge, I hope this podcast, um, lack of better words, and I'm gonna say it, I hope it guilts you into going back to lodge. If you ain't been in the lodge in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, come on. So how many excuses you gonna make? I'm gonna get real here. Like I've said before, I've missed 5 lodge meetings, and I was raised in 2009. So you make a dedication to something else. You make a dedication to the widow sons. Make sure you make that same dedication to your Blue Lodge, because if you don't have the Blue Lodge, you can't be a widow son. You can't be a Shriner. You can't be a 32nd degree Mason. So if our Blue Lodges start folding and disappearing because we say, we're a widow son, we don't need to go to Blue Lodge. You're wrong. Get up and go. Make that one time. Go to lodge and see how much difference it makes for you. I mean, you may be sitting there for a while and haven't gone to lodge. Just get up and go. I don't care what the excuse is. Just like I said on the last podcast or a couple podcasts ago, put 5,000 miles on your bike. I'm gonna put another challenge out there. I want to see every brother that's a widow son. I want to see you attend a minimum of 50% of your lodge meetings.
Yes.
I'm putting that on you. Challenge. Accept that challenge.
Yeah. So within the Nephilim chapter, we have it in our bylaws that to be a widow son's member of the Nephilim chapter, you have to attend a minimum of 50% of your lodge meetings. And so something I want to say about that, if we're trying to grow a Blue Lodge, if you want to grow a Blue Lodge, the number one thing to grow a Blue Lodge is to have a widow son's chapter there. That will grow a Blue Lodge because those members, they are going to attend the regularly stated meetings. And the second thing that we just haven't talked on a whole lot, but the widow sons grows and creates dedicated members. guys that are always showing up to the extra events. And those are the guys that you want in your Blue Lodge. And the Widow Sons, the Widow Sons not only cultivates that, but creates Masons that are showing up to those extra events. And that's what you need in your Blue Lodge, as members like that. If you want to grow your Blue Lodge, you need a Widow Sons chapter.
Yep. Yeah, so for some of those grandmasters or anybody out there listening, I do know sometimes you see us as rough on the outside, but we are all master masons, so our interior core is cut and stoned correctly and smooth, because we were taught as master masons, it's what we're supposed to do. So our outside core our outside let me get this correct. Our outside demeanor may look rough and rugged to you, but our light is always bright and shiny. So don't shut us out because maybe you saw one bad apple. That's kind of like saying all police officers are bad or all criminals are bad. No, it's just certain situations, certain people, certain places. But I'm telling you, just like Skittles said, you want your you want your Blue Lodge to grow, and you don't have any Widow Sons in that area, find some motorcycle enthusiasts that are Masons. I promise you, ask them to be Widow Sons, and that will grow.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're a Blue Lodge listening and you don't have a Widow Sons chapter within your Blue Lodge, reach out to us. We can make things happen. We know people, all over the United States, all over the world. Joe Norman coined the term "the sun never sets on the Widow Sons." We can make that happen. I think I full-heartedly, I want what's best for Freemasonry, for the craft, for Blue Lodge, and I believe planting the Widow Sons in every lodge will make sure that no Blue Lodge ever closes ever again.
That I would agree with that. That's another fact. If you have a Widow Sons chapter or some type of Widow Sons in that area to help support those lodges, they'll stay open.
Your doors will never close if you have a Widow Sons chapter based out of your lodge. I can promise you that. They'll never close.
Yep. Yeah. We always like to have, as in our actual chapter, we have our chapter meetings at the lodge. I mean, what better place to have a meeting where it's already tiled and quiet?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, brother, so me and Gilligan were talking before this. Gilligan has been, we're recording this on now a Monday, but he was at my house all weekend, dropped his bags, came here Thursday night, was here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, helping me, welcome my daughter, Gianna, into this world. And, so
into
thankful for that. But yeah, so we missed our normal podcast night, so we're going to do a quick one tonight. But we're just so thankful for everybody listening. But Gilligan, we said we'd do a quick one tonight, but maybe let's do a recap, talk about what's coming in the pipeline. We've got some exciting guests on the way. We did that poll where we asked people, hey, who do you want on the podcast? And everybody named some really awesome, prominent Widow Sons. The big one was state presidents. You guys want some state presidents on? If you're hosting a rally, if you're a state president and you're not coming onto this podcast, I can't help you. But I'm telling you, if you're doing a rally and you're a state president and you come on this podcast, this is the number one source within the Widow Sons that will promote. We want to blow up your rally. We want to blow up your event. We want to, encourage people. Man, we have got an awesome interview coming up from Ohio. And the things I have heard, talking to the guys in Ohio, that is going to be a crazy, amazing rally. And having a long form discussion of that rally, that's going to encourage people to get there. So Gilligan, I don't know, maybe you want to talk about it or something.
Yeah. I can give you a little subject on this. Brother Skittles is right. We have an open platform here for anyone that wants to come on and talk about their rally. You want to come on and talk about your rally? And tell us what events you're planning, what like your start times, your end times. And if you want to do that a month before your rally, 2 months before your rally, come on, be our guest. Be our guest. Be our guest. Sorry, I had some fucking
Mm-hmm.
Beauty and the Beast pop in my head there for a second.
Love that.
Come on down. Like literally, send us a flyer. Let us post it. Like this is a free advertisement channel. Like you should be advertising with two burning tapers. No questions asked. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
have a conversation, and let's deep dive into your rally. Let's see what we're gonna get into. I think it'll be fucking fantastic, Parker. I think it's gonna be fantastic.
Yep. I think it's going to be fantastic. And something that's awesome is one of the things that me and Gilligan talk about and love is the goat calendar. That lets you know
Yes.
what rallies are happening. And I love that because we write it down on our calendar. But having this long form discussion on, oh, your rally is going to have this or that guy's going to be there and doing this, it'll make your rally more personal. And it'll make it more advantageous for people to be like, oh man, I can't believe they're going to be doing that event or doing this. I've got to make that one. So it changes it from just being a date on a calendar from being an event on a calendar.
I agree with that. Oh, you made me think of a fucking one of our earlier podcast where we talked about shit in a swag bag. I had a thing that popped in
Yeah.
my head literally while you just said that, and it had to do with a rally. And you can instead of opt for a t-shirt, I would take a fucking hat. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, bro, that is a great idea. That is a fantastic. I'm already hearing the naysayers. I'm guessing a hat costs a little bit more to produce than a shirt, but
Depends.
But here, you got to
Depends.
think about how much it's getting out there. I'll wear a shirt once or twice, and then you got to wash it and this or that. I'm dirty. I'm a dirty human, man. This hat I've got on right now, I've worn it 70 times and it hasn't been
Every day?
washed. That's advertisement, baby.
Every day. Every day. This is the first time I've wore this shirt, and this is the Grand Gathering t-shirt. I thought I've worn it before. I took it out of my drawer, and I was like, damn, this thing's nice and crisp and clean. But I tell you
And
what,
what's
my
nice
Widow
about a
Son's hat,
yeah, your beard won't
ahead.
cover your hat.
No.
Because I don't even know what shirt
it
you're
does
wearing.
cover
Your
my
beard's
eyeballs.
covering it. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, and that's facts. That's
there
facts.
you go. Okay. Yeah.
I would say that is one thing about putting your emblems on the front of the shirt versus the back of the shirt. Guys with beards, we got to do the little. We took it off to the side so you can see my beard, see my shirt. Just sorry. I know that's a little side tangent. We were talking about rallies, but that was the one thing that popped in my head was like, man, I'd kill for a hat at a rally. Like make a specific hat for the rally instead of a t-shirt. I'd fucking kill for that. Not necessarily really kill, but yeah, that would be cool as shit.
That's a really great point because we've had a lot of people. You and I typically wear. Actually, I got my hat right here. My Widow Son's hat that I got at Grand Gathering, Illinois this year. Guys constantly comment on the channel, going like, "Hey, where'd you get those hats from?" Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think that'd be a really big
make a one-off hat. Make a one-off hat for your rally and your rally only. So that's the one place you can get it.
Yep, that'd be a legit collectible.
And you could do hats. Most hats are one size fit all for most. If you do like snapbacks or shit like that, you don't have to get real fancy and do like fitted hats, and then you don't have to worry about t-shirt orders. So that cuts another person's list down.
Oh, that's a good point.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
I got on a little side tangent there for a second. It just that popped in my head while you were talking about that, and that was just something that popped in. I was like, man, that I would kill for it. Get me a hat.
Yeah.
But
yeah, fuck with that.
Yeah.
Well, dang, man.
Other than that, brother, I think we did ourselves a nice little short podcast here.
A little pop in.
I know. Yeah, a little pop in. We'll give you another. This is a thirst trap. This is a thirst trap for next Monday, when we load down a big podcast.
I'm telling you, I'm really excited about our next guest coming on the podcast. It's we got a president from another state, and we're super stoked to interview him. And then after him, we've got some other brothers. We've been reaching out to some other podcasts. We've got some man, I hate to even say it, but we got some grandmasters, Masonic grandmasters we're talking to. Okay, you're right. Yep, probably can't let that cat out of the bag, so I'll edit that out. Don't worry, I'll take that out. So yeah, we got some cool guests coming on, man. It'll be fun.
Nice. I look forward to it, buddy. I look forward to it. I look forward to you on the other side being half asleep and half awake from that baby kicking that ass.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've been losing a little bit of sleep, but I'm still fighting.
Yep, still fighting, son. Still fighting.
Well, right on, Gilligan. Hey, I love you, brother. Love you so much.
Love you.
Thank you for coming down this weekend, and you and your wife dropping your whole life to help me and my wife out when we brought our first little baby daughter into this world. That means the world, and I cannot wait for the opportunity to repay that favor.
Hey, you already did. You repaid the favor first.
So
when I had my first kid, I had my first kid. You were around, brother. You were around the whole time. So it's fucking fantastic. I love you, brother. Have a good night.
Yep. You too, brother. Have a good one. Bye.